Welcome to Attican Plays Rise of Industry. All right, hi, this is Attican. Welcome to another Rise of Industry video. This is a continuation of our normal playthrough. This is part 2. In part 1, we started in this nice medium-sized region, and we had two options really as far as stores beyond the food market and the hardware store. In Shidler, there's a clothing store, and over here in Risen, which is a good-sized city, there's a bookstore. The bookstore, I love bookstores. However, there's no coal in the Risen region. So without coal, you can't make ink. Without ink, you can't hit tier 3 on your books. That's actually the problem with the bookstore. So we would have to not only have the rights to the Risen region, but perhaps this region right down here. See this coal right here? It's actually over in this region, the Borger region. So we would have to buy the rights to develop in this region as well as this one. So our headquarters would give us one, but we'd have to buy one. It was an expense we didn't need to have to get started. We wanted to go straight to tier 3. And we needed our money to do that, so we decided to go to Shidler with clothes, because the great thing about a clothing store as a startup is that your research can get you all the things you need. You are not dependent upon the resources in the region. So we picked summer clothes and we started building out. We built one and quickly built a second one, and we used a lot of leverage. We quickly maxed out our loans to get us enough money to do all the research that we needed for summer clothes and to build this out. So you can see it's only the beginning of April of year 2. So we're really 1 year and 1 year and 1 quarter into our playthrough. And we already have a fully functioning, beautiful summer clothes business that can meet the full demand of Shidler. Shidler needs one every 15 days. Each one of these can create one every 30 days, so that's 2 per month, and they need 2 per month, and then that's beautiful. So we are selling summer clothes at Shidler. We're making very good profit. So we are in good shape, and now what we said we would do next is work clothes, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do work clothes. Now we've got a bunch of research that we need to get done here, so we're going to try to get that done first before we start building, with an exception. I'll tell you the exception in a second. Now let's go look at our planning tool. Not our recording tool, our planning tool. All right. I think I'm going to do that every video one time. All right, so work clothes. If we need 1 per 15, that's 2 buildings. For us to do one work clothes is going to cost us about $6.5 million. So we need probably 7, 7.5, or 8 to be comfortable with being able to do that all the way through. Now, what we notice here, though, we have leather. So we're going to have a fully loaded up livestock farm. And that's what I'm talking about, the research. We want to make sure we can have 5 cattle ranches on this farm, cattle fields, whatever you want to call them. And we want to be able to make sure we can have 5 wheat. So we only have to grow one. We have 1 wheat farm, 1 livestock farm, and we can hit what we need there. So that's research we're going to want to do, and in fact, we're just going to go ahead and, while we've got some money, we will go ahead and get that done. So here's the crop fields, here's the cattle fields, and that means that, or livestock, it actually applies to sheep, cattle, or chickens. But basically, this says we can have 2 more crops, so we can go from 3 to 5 crop fields on our crop farms like wheat. And this says +2 would give us 5 for the cattle. So we're going to go ahead and let that take off. Remember, we've got our research up at $5 million a month. We don't mess around with this research. We're not trying to do steady stream research. We're trying to do as needed research, and we're trying to do it quickly when we need it. So we'll let that go ahead and run, and we'll spend some money getting that researched. And then once we have that, then we're going to look at go back to the planning tool. I want to show you something else. So remember, we're trying to get to work clothes, and we're not really interested in tier 1, tier 2 products, or obviously raw materials. However, we are going to need 5 cattle fields on a livestock farm, and the leather is not the only thing going to get created. That farm is also going to produce beef and milk. So why don't we sell the beef and milk? Of course we will. We will sell the beef and milk and make money on it. And because it won't cost as much to set it all up, because we won't need all the cotton and the berries and the dye and the fibers and the work clothes and the heavy fabric and all that stuff. We don't even need them researched yet. We can go ahead and start on this, start making money on that, and just build it as a stepping stone into our work clothes business. So what we're going to do here is make sure that we can do cattle. So we'll go to livestock, look at our research, and see we need to research cattle or cows, which only costs 200K. So we'll knock that off in a couple of days very, very quickly. So there we go. Now we can do livestock. We still got about 4 million left. Remember, we need like 7 or 8 to be comfortable building out this whole thing. So we can look at this and say, well, what if I was just doing leather? So one way to use the tool would be to just cut this down to the part that we want to do. So what if I'm just doing leather? And remember, milk and beef come along for the ride. So if I do leather and I wanted 5 of them, if I wanted to do 5, we're just kind of ignoring the demand. Remember, we want to do the 5 to set up for our work clothes. If we do 5 leather, we would need 6 water and our 5 crop farms. So basically, we would need the whole setup for leather and crop and 6 of the water that we're going to need ultimately. So why don't we go ahead and build that out now and let that start making money for us. Plus, we'll start accumulating the leather and have that ready to go when we ultimately build our work clothes. So we're going to set up, I believe it was 6 water. So, and we're going to do it, we're going to put 5 on one and 1 on the next one, and then we'll expand it as we go along. And so we'll put one back here in the corner, making sure it can get 5. Again, I'll make my plea to development. I'd love to see the potential places when I'm placing this. That would be a tremendous asset for me. Okay, so let's get 5 water going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to need, and let's run our roads, and then we'll think about the next one. There we go, there's 5, and now let's start another one. Give it enough room to, and we'll set 1 with the plan to add 4 more. So we'll give it 1. Okay, so there's our 6 water, and we need 5 wheat and 5 cattle. So why don't we build them? Let's just go right along here, right along that road. I would have been more impressed with myself if I'd gotten that straight, but we'll do it like this. That'll work. Okay. So let's do our 5 fields. Oh, oh my goodness. All right, I would have been really impressed with myself if I'd built the correct building. Let's do this again. What a waste of money. All right. All right, Anakin, get your act together. Go out like that, and the farm that we want is a crop farm, which is locked because we need to go out and quickly research wheat. Okay, now we have a crop farm. Okay, we'll go out 5 and we'll set up our wheat field. And I want to crowd it over this way as much as it will allow me, pretty much. And it won't let me go that far. Okay, there's our 5 wheat. And now we want 5 cattle. And we also need, we know we're going to have to put in one more siphon, because remember we're working ultimately toward work close. And our water, whoops, we don't want 5 of them. We want, really what we want are 2. We want to end up with 2, which is 14 water. So to have 14 water, 5, 10, we're going to need one more of these. We're going to have to fill up make this one 5, and one more. So I am going to, let's see, it would take up, we would want it, I don't really want to build it, but I want to kind of mark its place. If we put it like that, yeah, we will build it. We're just going to turn it off. Okay. So I put that there because I want to put the cattle field over here, and I want to see how far I can build it. And you know, if I was better at counting, if I had more math skills, I could have just counted that. But no, I had to actually build something. Okay, so we're going to put in a livestock farm with 5 fields. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go over 5 to give us room for the fields, and put down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we've got ourselves a nice little supply chain here that will create, let's just run it right into town. Okay. And we'll set up our livestock to deliver the meat to the farmer's market in Shidler. That's for now. This can all change when they're, let me think about that one. You know what? We're going to go ahead and put in our, we're down to 410,000. We're going to stop building here for a minute. I get carried away. All right, our milk unfortunately can't go to Shidler. The next best is Tolstoy, and then it can just hang on to the leather for now. We want our wheat to go directly to Livestock Farm 1. And we want our water to be split between the 2. So go to Crop Farm 1 and Livestock Farm 1. And we'll copy paste to have this other one do the same thing. This one we didn't need can just sit there idly. And here we go. Now on normal difficulty, we can make money, pretty good money off the beef and the milk. Much tighter margins. Oh, look at this. Our competitor built a road. I'm somewhat neutral on the existence of that road. I guess we can use it. Maybe we can use it. Yeah, we can use. No, not really. All right, we've got an offer to deliver some dye to Moyoc. So let's take a look at that. 21 dye, February of year 3. A lot of town influence, which is always nice, and a nice payoff. And the thing of it is, if I'm not mistaken, if we look at summer close, we're getting a little overage there anyway. Yeah, about half a factory worth of overage. So it would be a very good thing if we could take that contract. Let's see how we look for dye. We have 0, but we're going to, where is Moyoc? Is it like the next planet? Good grief. Is it on the map? Okay, it's a long ways off. And I don't want to shut down our summer cloth, so sorry. We'll just have to pass on that. If it was closer, we would do it. But if we took it right now and started shipping those goods off, our summer clothes business would suffer, and we can't ship part of it and hope to make it when it's that far away. So we're just going to have to pass. I've got a connection problem here. This is the one thing you really have to watch on these roads, is this right there. See that white line? Means that these aren't actually connected. Now they are. So we've been running one water short. But you can see our money's climbing back up, and our beef business will help bring that up. And in fact, we could go ahead and set up the other side of that now if we wanted to. And why wouldn't we? So we've got, let's go back to our work clothes. Ultimately, we would like to have 9 wheat, 9 leather, and 14 water, but some of that water is for berries and cotton. Looks like about 3 of it. So we need about 11 water and the rest of this. So let's do 10. Let's do our 10 water. No, we've already built it. Why not? We'll do 11. So we're going to bump this one up to its full 5, 3, 4, 'Gotta be careful and make sure that this one has enough galloway. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's getting tight. Ugh. Let's see here. We need 14 ultimately. Let's just stop at 4 on this one. And 5, and we'll see if we can get 5 on this guy here. I'm trying not to, if you haven't noticed, I'm trying not to terraform, because that's the way you play the game when you're on harder difficulties. 3, 4, 5. But we are on normal, so if I had to, I could dig a little ditch to get some water. Okay. Oh, I built them all, didn't I? So we're going to have plenty of water. That's a good thing. And now let's build. We've got enough money to build our livestock. every city builder game, every Pharaoh, every game I've played where you have to be precise in your placements, I have struggled with kicking them over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this one only needs 4. And I think I copied it, didn't I? Yeah, so we'll have it's already set up to go. And we'll put another wheat farm in. And this one will change its destination to Livestock Farm 2. You know what? I overbuilt there, didn't I? You do not want to overbuild, said the guy who overbuilt on his water. All right, so now what I'd like to do is let's throw in the warehouse. It's time to go warehouse. And this one here will set up a manual destination. Oops. To go to the warehouse. The rest of them should have been grabbed automatically. Yeah. Okay, so coming into our warehouse, we've got livestock farms. Okay, everything. And outgoing, whatever. Okay, so now we'll just start running stuff through the warehouse. That way the wheat and the water and everything can get distributed appropriately. And I just built myself right into the hole here. That's dangerous. I could get a bankruptcy warning here, or end up bankrupt when I'm making huge profits. Okay, fortunately we had stuff to sell. So we'll let this run, let this system get all nice and functioning. We'll have a good leather supply stored up for us here in the warehouse. Probably have too much. We're already seeing leather. And what we can do, since these are going into the warehouse now, we can have the warehouse take the beef into market. Or into this, yeah, into market, and you can take the milk and sell that. And we could consider setting up a trade route to do this as well, but this will work just fine for now. So research-wise, we've done the key things other than just getting our actual ability to make work clothes. That's 5.6 and heavy fabrics 1.8. And we could even phase this in again and set up the heavy fabrics part of that business, assuming we would have a buyer for it. Let's just see if we do. I hope they're going to come up with views where you can really see this, but one way we can do this is we can go here and look at, if you had another destination, no, we're not making heavy fabrics, never mind. We'll just look in the store. Okay, they do buy heavy fabrics, 2 a month. one every 15 days. But we would need our cotton, and let's just stick with this and build up our money quickly. And we can afford researching heavy fabrics, certainly. You can see how quickly our money's racking up. We're making money on the beef and milk. We're definitely making money on the summer clothes. And notice how everything's running nicely here, very smoothly. We're staying pretty green up here too. Occasional little blips, but we're keeping these two green all the time, and that's what we're really after. All right, we need 5.6 for our next research, the work clothes, and we probably want about 6.6 to be safe. And we can look at our loans and see if we can't pay one off and take out a bigger one. We could pay off this one at 4.43, and I believe Ryzen would give us a bigger loan. Let's see if we can't do that. I wish you could see that before you did the payoff. Here's a 10, yeah, here we go. We're going to take a $10 million loan from Ryzen. No reason for us to wait on this stuff. We'll accept that. Now we've got tons of money. We can research work clothes. We're making enough off of what we have to cover that additional burden of that loan. See, our money's almost going up while we're spending $5 million a month on research. So now we've got plenty of money to go ahead and become a work clothes manufacturer. So what do we need? Let's start with one. That would make sense. So we'll start with, we need 2 cotton and 1 berry farm. They're both plantations, so we'll do let's do our 2 cotton right here. And we can do 1 berry. Right there. And our plants can go right here and we're in good shape. So let's let those run for a little bit till we see some berries and cotton in. Oh, let's turn that guy on. We've been doing all this without the extra water, which is fine. We obviously didn't need it. All right, go. Another one, another note to developers. I really need to be able to see which industries are turned off. Need to be able to sit back up here and say, oh, that guy's turned off. That would be extremely useful to be able to see that. Okay, we'll have berries and cotton here shortly. Let's let them go through one more cycle and then we'll get started in earnest with our manufacturing. Once that berry produces, again, we'll go. There we go. One dye, one fiber, two heavy fabric. Stop that. Okay, one dye, one fiber, and two heavy fabric. One work clothes with a destination of the clothing store. And we could actually go ahead and build the second set, but we'll I want to see this one actually working, and then we'll double it up. And we've already doubled up our water and our beef and our wheat. We just need to add some cotton and some berries. We're actually good to go with going ahead and building this out. So bump this up to 2, and we need our berries need to be 2 and our cotton needs to be 3. Berries 2, cotton 3. Okay, I'm going to go back and just confirm. Well, it doesn't matter. We'll never mind. Let's see. We need 2, 3, 2, but we don't need another dye factory. Okay, so we get a little economy of scale because we were overproducing. So 2 fiber, 3 heavy fabric, and 2 work clothes. So I'm going to start. I'll start with the work clothes and copy it so that it'll have the right destination. And let's see. Oh, what a memory. All right, 3 heavy and 2 fiber. So we need 1 more of these and 1 more of these. Good deal. Okay, we now have a full-blown two factory, what I would think of as two complete sets of work clothes, which will give us the ability to match out the work clothes requirement of 1 every 15 or 2 for 30, and these will produce exactly 2 for 30. So let's let that run for a minute just to stare at our beautiful system. We're also making money on the beef and milk, should be. And so the next trouble we want to get into is, of course, winter clothes. And you can see our money is, as with all that spending, our money is still climbing and climbing. And now if we have two efficient Tier 3 businesses kind of fully matching the demand of the city, we should be pumping out money at a good clip here. All right, so let's wrap up this part 2 right here. We have successfully built another excellent Tier 3 business. We've got a fully developed work clothes business running that will come very, very close to matching 100% of the demand in Shidler for work clothes. So now we've got the ability to match demand for summer clothes and work clothes. We really should be making excellent money at this point. And next episode, we will venture into the world of winter clothes. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next Rise of Industry video. Thank you.